Hello, before we begin this, the computer I was recording this on was fucking dying, and the fan sounds like a dying goose. So it's apparent in the first couple of minutes, but it disappears in the rest. Hey yo, what's up, guys? I got on some comrades today to talk about the recent events in Nepal. They have been world historic in many ways, and everybody's been keeping their eyes on them. There's been a lot of opinions and a lot of, I believe, false myths spread around the internet, so I wanted to just clarify them. So on our podcast today, we have Promise, NEP-Che, and Avi. So Promise, let's starting with you. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hey, what's up? I'm Promise. I'm a, I guess you could say, Nepalese communist YouTuber kind of thing. I make videos regarding Nepalese history and politics from the Marxist point of view. Uh, yeah, at Promiseistrying on YouTube, and yeah, that's my that's my identification, or sorry, certificate.
And then NEP-Che.
Hey, my name's Nepche. I'm more of a Marxist-Leninist Maoist. I post usually on TikTok about Nepalese history and about communist propaganda. That's pretty much it.
And then Avi.
Hello, I'm a TikTok slop poster, I guess, is what I do.
Which is and he makes pretty good TikTok slop posts, I will say. You know,
Thank you.
yeah, better than the CIA, better than the CIA, you know, easily.
They got nothing on them. They got nothing on nothing on the cap cover. Nothing on the cap cover.
I swear to God, the CIA. I was just saying it, but the CIA cannot beat a 13-year-old with cap cut. Like, you know, like, the power is unmatched. You know, communists. They're doing amazing jobs. You know.
Yeah, the red Shambhala stuff, the all that stuff. It's been circulating my feed, man. It's so good.
Yeah, it is. It is so hype. But getting into it, how did Nepal become communist? Like, let's just center ourselves a little bit into like how we got into our current situation, how to get to its current government, and then anybody feel free to step in.
Okay, I'll take the first reins on this. Nepal has I wouldn't say a long. Nepal has a good history of socialists and Marxist politics. Since the modern state of Nepal came about after the unification of Nepal by Prithvinarayan Shah, the first king, in around like 1768, if I'm right. And since then to 1951, Nepal was a monarchy. It had moments where it shifted from the Shah dynasty as kings to this other dynasty known as the Rana dynasty. But when it comes to socialism and communism, since the beginning of Nepal's like independence from the monarchy, which would be the 1950s, Nepal has always shifted towards, like, you could say, leftist politics, socialist politics. Nepal's first political party, which is still around today, it's one of Nepal's biggest political parties, Nepali Congress, was originally a socialist party. They were looking to liberate Nepal from not only the Ranas, but from the yoke of the transnational capitalist class. And the first Communist Party of Nepal was also created around the 50s. I can't remember the exact date, I'm sorry, but Puspalal Shrestha was the first chairman of the Communist Party of Nepal. And today we have in Nepal dozens of communist parties which all come from that one party. Classic Marxist sectarianism splitting led to Nepal having like 20 communist parties at one point. But yeah.
Why do you guys think that Nepal was like so uniquely socialist in its sort of independence and anti-monarchist movements?
Che, you want to take that?
I mean, I guess it stems from the economical and social oppression that the monarchy and the regime, the Rana regime, had put upon the Nepalese people. I would say that kind of, I mean, like all the other third world countries that were like fighting for their independence, Nepal was the same. And just like every other country that was oppressed by the first world country, the same thing happened with the monarchs and the regime that was ruling Nepal. And with the end of the Rana dynasty, which was brought about by the Congress Party, with a little help with the monarch as well. And after it was brought down, I would say the Congress Party that led the new government were pretty socialist, but they did have this tendency to be influenced by foreign entities like India specifically, and I guess that's pretty much it.
Mm, mm.
If I could, sorry, real quick, if I could add on one extra thing, it's important to keep in mind that during the period of the Rana rule, which was 1840s to 1950, Nepal was basically a satellite state, a vassal state of the British. Even though we weren't formally colonized, the Ranas had a very close relationship to the British, and a lot of their administrative policies on the Nepalese people at the time were very reminiscent to like colonial administrations. They it was like they ran Nepal basically like a colonial administration that was centered around the Kathmandu Valley, where anywhere outside of that, so like the mountain regions and the plains regions, like the Tarai region, were basically in a like a colonial occupation type of thing.
Makes sense. Makes sense. That's how the British be. They just if they can't take over formally, they'll do it somehow. Just that kind of shit. Where does Nepal sit though? Like between like it's a very geopolitically, I feel like important area. It's in between very big major powers. I mean India, China, and then of course America always looms over that. Where does Nepal sort of sit in this like balance? Is it like half and half? Is it like does it take one side more over the other? What exactly is it?
I mean, the last party that was leading the government were pretty much um, working towards their own interest than anything else. Like anyone who paid them more, they would just side with them. Honestly, you know, that's the reason why there's so much of inequality in the country, because none of the politicians that are supposed to be leading the country forward, they don't really do their job. All they care about is their self-interest because of the multi-party system. I would say once a party does come into power, all the other party come together to try to destabilize their government so they could be out of power, so the rival parties can come into power and then fulfill their self need. They're just all running behind their own self need. So I guess that's one of the biggest reason why there isn't a real there really isn't a uh consensus with the Nepalese politicians about what would be right and wrong about what steps would be right or wrong in to improve the improve the country, I would say.
Yeah, and I think part of what makes Nepali politics so intriguing is trying to seek a balance. Because Oli, he would like, court the Hindu right sometimes. He would portray himself as this very devout Hindu, and sometimes he would, but he was also very pro-China. So
We got BJP communism. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's bro.
Hell yeah.
It's more than that. It's Marxism itself has become more of a culture than a political ideology. Yeah, it's like in a way to explain it, it's like a classic. You vote for whoever your family voted for, right? So there are people that grew up voting for the United Marxist Leninists, which is Oli's party, or the Maoisti as well after 2008, and it's created this like a weird. You know how in like what is it? I forgot the Indian state that's currently like the CPIM, which
Kerala.
Kerala, yeah. Like how in Kerala you'll see a bunch of hammer and sickles and a bunch of like anti-capitalist stuff like posted everywhere. It's kind of similar with like the culture that you won't like see like too much of it, but it's like they've turned communist rhetoric of like anti-imperialism, anti-capitalism into just like a platform. It's like they're not going to act on it, but they're going to constantly like disavow it, and then not disavow it, constantly like spew it, and then blame the other parties as being imperialist or corrupt while they themselves are corrupt. It's just a game of who can pretend to be more socialist than the other party.
Yeah, I know people, like older people, they still think Oli is paying their pensions out of pocket. Like,
It's yep.
You know, just personally, he personally sends a check. You know,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's writing everyone.
He signs all the checks.
it's like Donald Trump, you know?
Yes, sir. It's the stimulus, bro. The stimmies, the KPLE stimmies coming in.
yeah. You know, Hindutva communist stimulus. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
there's a lot of parties. Obviously, you guys mentioned. Like, can you mention like some of the major players? You know, obviously, like it's a mess. Like, but just a couple major ones,
Yeah.
just to get us oriented.
There's three major ones. It's like a tri-party supremacy. You have Nepali Congress, which was the first party. They called themselves Democratic Socialists for a long time. Now they don't call themselves anything. I don't know. Like I think they're liberal. They might call themselves liberal now. I don't know.
They're more centrist now. I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah. And with the Communist Party of Nepal, United Marxist-Leninists, YMALE, which is you could say like the first revisionist communist party. Like they weren't ever revolutionary in any way, right? They just wanted reforms. They wanted to like get the reforms done. And then you have the Maoisti, the Maoist party, which started the Proletarian Revolution in 1996, and then joined the government officially in 2008 as a official party. Those are the three you got to worry about.
The interesting thing about KP Oli specifically, at a certain point, he was pretty out there. Like he was in jail for 14 years for participating in the Japa uprising, and where they beheaded landlords, if I'm not mistaken. And but he was always like a left communist, is what I think he called himself. So
yeah.
So the left communist to like right wing pipeline.
Literally.
Damn. But he's Bukharan. He's like Nepalese Bukharan. Holy shit. So like we've oriented ourselves like pretty well into like what was the surrounding situation, and then Ali was the leader, right? He's like the president or prime minister.
Prime Minister, yeah.
Prime Minister, yeah. So what exact grievances led to these like Gen Z protests?
I mean, mainly, you gotta keep in mind, Nepal has no economic autonomy, right? Nepal has no way, like no matter how much they talk about socialism, they're not even nationalizing the industry. There is no industry really. Nepal runs on remittance and tourism, right? And that's the main thing. It's the remittance economy. Like these kids grow up in Nepal, right? They grow up and their only ways of having a decent life is either, the brain drain and then getting going to a college in like a Western nation, or going to like Saudi Arabia, UAE, like the oil states, to become damn near slave laborers. And it's that anger that push these youth towards it. It's also the corruption and stuff, but it's a third world country. All third world countries are corrupt. It's like obviously, but it's mainly that. It's the anti-remittance economy type of thing. These kids don't want to leave their homes and their families to go work at some country like thousands of miles away. They want to be able to work in the place they grew up. And the reason it was so important that it was the youth, and then they're all wearing their student uniforms and stuff, was like to show like, hey, we're students. Like this is not like adults that are protesting. These are the kids. Like we're out here after school trying to get y'all to do something. But
and some of the first casualties were students.
I mean,
yeah. If you go ahead, NEP-Che.
Oh, I was about to say that I think it also stems from this frustration that as kids, we were always told that, hey, go to school, get an education, get a degree, you'll find a job, and hey, your life will be set. That's what we've always been told back in Nepal. But like seeing that not come to fruition, seeing that, hey, everything we were told was just a lie, that I think that frustration really boiled down on the street on the 8th of September.
Yeah. And if you guys could give us like a little bit of a timeline of the events within the Gen Z protests themselves. So like protesters are shot at, things like that, just moving from like thing to thing. because we were all following it closely. It was a lot of fun, honestly, to see on my phone. And that one British guy who was stuck there, you guys saw him, the vlogger.
Bro,
It was so funny. He just came for like a casual vlog, and he ended up in the middle of a social revolution.
Bro, my parents were like watching his videos every day, bro. He was daily vlogging the whole thing, bro.
Yeah.
I was watching his vlogs, and I was like, I know those shades. I want to be there right now.
Oh my god. That's like when the entire fucking country is like rioting and like actually doing something, you want to be there so bad. It's like America, bro. Oh my god. But for the timeline stuff, basically okay, so September 8th protest starts. Originally it was just a mass protest. There was supposed to be no violence involved. It was a peaceful protest. They were just going to go in front of the parliament building and then protest for, corruption and, all that stuff that we just talked about. What really set off the rioting and the mass, like, I guess you could say the spontaneous eruption of violence is the police started shooting at the kids, right? And of course, that's going to piss off everybody when you start shooting at the kids. So what ends up happening, what was a youth protest, like a youth-led protest, turned into like a mass riot type of like thing next day on the 9th and until like when it ended, mainly because of that. It was the excessive use of violence by the Nepalese police. And, people are mad. They want to get some sort of retribution for the children that died for this, so it erupted into this massive rioting and, the Gen Z protest stuff, it got worldwide news coverage and yeah.
I mean, I would go a little further back than that, and I would say that you guys, I'm pretty sure everyone heard about the whole social media ban in Nepal, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I forgot about that.
I mean, I think people do say it was stemmed through the whole social media ban, but no, it was more than that. There was a lot more grievance that the people that came out on the street had. Like, I mean, unemployment, like Promise said, having to leave their country and go into a foreign land to work. All that stuff really was boiling up, and I think that the whole corruption, the whole inequality, I think that's what really triggered the protests. But I think the whole social media ban was like a catalyst for them to actually do something about it.
Yep.
And the social media ban, it came during the what was it, hashtag expose corruption or something like that. Or exactly, yeah. So people were drawing connections there, and I think people are just tired. Like the corruption in Nepal is very open. Like it's not a secret to anybody.
It's like the most talked about thing, especially where I'm at in the diaspora about like Nepal and stuff. It's the mass corruption. Everyone's like, the common consensus always, doesn't matter which party you voted for when you lived in Nepal, is Nepal's too corrupt. There's like, it's going to be impossible to change the country, which, I mean, yeah, like through parliamentary politics, you're not going to change the country. So they're not wrong in that sense, but it makes people very jaded. It turned people away from politics. And social media, speaking on all that stuff, social media is genuinely super important in Nepal, right? It's, again, like a lot of Nepalese people live outside of the country. So you ban social media, you're in a way banning their connection to their families outside of the country, right? And in a way, like social media itself is you could say a stabilizer. It de-radicalizes some people. It doesn't make people really want to do anything, right? It's kind of just, social media is also like, oh, my bad, I'm getting too far off the point here, but social media is also like, Nepalese people make money off of social media. Like a lot of people are on like TikTok. They use TikTok to like sell stuff, or they use Facebook to, conduct business, right? So when you ban stuff that is so pivotal to the domestic economy, people are gonna get really mad. Because before that, Nepalese people, even though they knew about the corruption and they're like, this is bad and all that, they weren't really gonna act on it. Like every couple of years, you might see a protest against corruption, but it not to the level that it got to here. And like Che was saying and Abby's saying, like, it's like social media is like the classic, always on your damn phone shit. But like it like unironic, like most of the Nepalese people were always on their damn phone because it's like a very pivotal thing to third world. So
I mean, yeah, it's like the best distraction we have, to be honest.
Yeah.
Damn. So Nepal proves like the Frankfurt School, right? You know, like the thesis about TVs, like holding back revolution. Yeah.
Yeah, literally, bro. Social media basically was that. It was the opioid of the Nepalese masses.
Damn.
The circus, I guess, in a way.
Yeah. They took away the circus, but
Yeah.
why did they take it away? Like what was the government's reasoning? Like their official reasoning, at least.
From what
Well,
go ahead. Sorry, Ivy.
I was just gonna say it's been in the works for months. Like since last year, they've been talking about wanting to crack down on having companies register in the country, and if they don't, they'd be banned. And many of them decided not to register, so they banned them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, like on the Western, very pro-China left, took that as like, oh, Nepal's trying to do what China did, building their independent ecosystem, building their own firewall, things like that. There was none of that. There was no independent media network being established. People weren't striving towards that. You set up alternatives first, and then you work to move away from these non-native platforms, and that wasn't exactly happening.
Right. So that's also, you know, I'm so glad you mentioned like Western communists, because that's also been one of the biggest points that I've seen circulating, that these protests were entirely like CIA, or, you know, they're CIA funded, you know, this is just installing in a pro-American regime because Nepal was going towards BRICS or the China orbit or something of that sort. Can you speak to, and certainly I'm sure the CIA did have an influence, and there were some actors that certainly did to some Western NGOs. But can you sort of speak on that? Like how organic was this, and how much was it like Western influence, CIA backed, whatever?
I just want to say something like super quick, because I think Che would probably be better explaining this stuff, because I was watching literally his TikToks when everything was happening. So I think a lot of Western Marxists, first, they did not have the correct historical context of Nepal. They just saw they just saw that like a communist party was in power and there was a riot, there was a protest for it. So they automatically assumed, oh, this is a anti-communist color revolution that is trying to destabilize a communist government. I think that's where a lot of Western Marxists kind of attacked this whole situation from. And you know, you just that I have my own gripes with Western leftists, and one of my major things is they don't really care about third world revolutionaries that much, or as much as they should. But I digress. That's all I really had to say on that.
I think we should talk. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Davey.
I was gonna say something about Hami Nepal did do a lot of the initial organizing to whip people into kind of a frenzy. Years before that, they've been doing like generic liberal humanitarian work, like look at us giving rice or whatever, doing flood relief. So they built up kind of respect in the community. But now that the protests are done, people are fed up with them. I don't know if you could, put up a picture when you publish this of Mr. Sudan Garang. And his like Marvel villain looking outfit that everyone uses on the internet now.
No, bro.
I'll make it the head picture.
Speaking on that, there was so much misinformation spread during those days. Like motherfuckers were saying like Sudan Gurung. There's another Sudan Gurung from Sikkim in India, and they were like, "Oh, this is a Indian plot to like there's all that type of stuff." And the other thing was crazy was they were posting pictures of kids that hadn't died, talking about some like, "Oh, rest in peace to this person." And I think there was so much like for those first couple of days, there was just so much information coming in that like people could not parse like, okay, what is right, what is the truth, what is just not right, like what is falsehoods, and all these conflicting like stuff coming in from social media was also, I think, it's confusing people. It was a weird couple days, man, on the internet for Nepal.
Yeah, so the NGO guy basically has like no like legitimacy within the country whatsoever.
No, like nobody
credibility.
He did for a while. I think people respected him and his organization for doing things, but now that it's over, people recognize they kind of failed to properly grasp the moment. And there was a video published I just saw of him yelling at one of the protesters who was on the ground organizing things, like over the phone, cursing them out, calling them lazy. He wasn't there. He wasn't struggling. He wasn't, and
It was
People-
yeah, sorry.
didn't I believe him and his people were like beaten up by the media too. Like this happened literally a couple of days after the protest. Like there was a huge media a conference, and like I don't know what happened. I didn't watch the whole thing, but like at the very end, they were just beating up him and his people, like for some reason.
It was, I think, it was weird, man. They were trying to, what is it? Hamro Nepal, Hami Nepali. Hami Nepali is like the organization, right? A charity organization. I think they were just trying to co-opt, like not co-opted, but a little bit of a co-op situation there. They were trying to take a central leadership role in the protests, but it was more on the grounds than it, like, I think people anticipated. Like, a lot of these Gen Z protesters came in, they didn't really have a platform besides anti-corruption and all that stuff. So, there was I guess, a gap for leadership that somebody could have taken, and that's what Hami Nepal did. And it was, of course, like when you try to co-opt the leadership of a protest like that, you're gonna have a bunch of people that are gonna be like, "Yo, this is not what we were trying to do. Like, who is this person? Like, what's going on here?"
Yeah. Also, it's such a bad Marxist like understanding of like social revolutions. Like the social revolution will happen because of like legitimate
Grievances.
contradictions within a country, and then class struggle. Like it won't just happen because the CIA says so. Like these all of them, even if they are led by the CIA, sometimes they are organic to some degree, right? They do generally represent some sort of class struggle. Usually the ones that the CIA does are like petite bourgeois, but there clearly was like a social basis, for some sort of class struggle here in
100%,
Nepal. No, it really sucked to see, I don't know, the Yakubians just sort of
Just saying
dismiss
some
it.
shit. Yeah. It was depressing, man. It was also a little yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to bring attention to what happened after everything said and done. A prime minister was picked on a Discord call with like 2,000 people. We don't even know who they are. So I mean, I don't know what to say, because like we picked our leader, but like we don't even know who picked her. You know what I'm trying to say? It's so bizarre to me, because like only 2,000 people got together and took the opportunity to pick a leader, and the whole country was just okay with it. But no one. Sorry?
I was gonna say, the Discord election, quote unquote, also is a bit of a confusion point. She was technically appointed by the president, not like they're saying that he used the results of the Discord election to inform the decision, but I'm not sure where people are getting that from.
Even so, because I was in that Discord when the shit was happening, bro. So even then, like, I'm gonna be like, when I'm looking at it, I don't know. It's the Discord. Like everyone in the Discord voted for Tsuzuda. So I'm not 100%. There was some influence from the youth in that Discord, but we also gotta understand that Discord was not organized by grassroots people. It was it was Hami Nepal Discord. It was the charity's Discord. Like it was associated with the charity, right? So again, and a majority of the people were not in that Discord either, right? So yeah, like Shay was saying, it wasn't like it was a really democratic vote. It was a very small amount of people that voted, and also that Discord had the worst moderation possible. So many racist shit on there, bro. Like there was damn near no moderation. Is like especially during when it was night in Nepal and morning over here. That's when I would be looking, right? So when it was nighttime over there, bro, no moderation, nothing. It was just racist, like transphobic shit, like homophobic shit. It was
racist against.
That's what I'm saying, bro. When there's edgelords in every country. These motherfuckers were talking about some like, oh, we need Modi to save the country. Bring back Trump, Trump. Oh my god, bro.
Say Europe account based in Nepal.
For real, bro.
Yeah. The Save Europe one's good. That's a good one, Avi. Too real, too real. So what does this new government look like though? Like who's the new PM? Like are they CIA? Are they Western friendly? Are they
Yeah, I mean,
Nepalese?
they're not Western friendly, but they're party friendly. Like,
Yeah.
they're associated with. There's a lot of association with like the mainstream parties like Congress and stuff. But again, it's an interim. It's an interim prime minister. They're not gonna do shit. Like, I don't know why people are putting too much hope on an interim presidency. Like, just to make one point clear, again, like the system hasn't changed. It's just the faces. Most likely, it's just going to be a new generation of new Yemale, new Congress, new Maoist people coming in, or another corrupt party like Lamtane. Was it Ravi Lamtane's?
Nabi Damsene.
Yeah, his party, his liberal ass party is probably gonna grow a little bit, but yeah, it's not much is gonna happen, in my personal opinion.
I mean, I would also like to bring into attention that Sushila Karki's husband is like a huge, a big part of the Congress Party. I mean, I think a lot of people forget that because, like, just
He was
because
the first Nepali plane hijacker.
Yeah, he hijacked the plane during the monarchy. Yeah,
he was a badass, no doubt there, but still, respect, but like he's still part of the party.
Right.
he's still part of the apparatus. He's not the radical that he was when he hijacked that plane. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And I feel like the government now. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Avi.
I feel like the government now can be like, like they're aiming for like a technocratic kind of, like they're trying to hide the party politics behind everything. And I think that's going to be worse for everybody because it's going to be behind closed doors instead of, oh, they're corrupt, they're from this party. Okay.
So it seems like they haven't really finished the revolution at all.
No.
I would even argue it wasn't a revolution. It was just a mass uprising. Like, there was no revolution. Yeah, like a riot probably fits it. Like the Gen Z revolution stuff. I feel weird calling it a revolution. It's you can't, like, nothing's changing. Like nothing worthwhile is changing. Just the faces are that's it.
Right. No new classes taking over. And wasn't the last government like Ali's super like pro-American too, or am I tripping? Like it was very much on the American side, anyways.
Dude, they're all on the American side. I'm gonna be real with you.
No matter who's enough, we'll see. Okay.
I mean, wasn't it the KP government that signed the MCC agreement?
Yeah, the Millennial Challenge thing. Yeah. It was the I think it was when them and the Maoist were in a coalition. But yeah, it was the communist parties were happily taking money from America. They don't care, man. They don't care about. They just anti-imperialism, communism. These are just buzzwords. Like it means nothing to them.
Paul Palmer,
Yeah,
But we got so close to Hindutva communism. That would have been fun, bro. That would have been fun.
Nazbol communism type shit.
Horseshoe communism. Yeah.
Communism for the Brahmins.
Yeah. Exactly. Communism for the Brahmins. Capitalism for the poor. That's that's the future we want. Okay, I'll shut up now. What impacts do you think this is gonna have on like Nepalese politics in the future? Like, do you think we're gonna see more mass uprisings? Are they done for now? Like, what's the situation? Is this like a stabilizing sort of reformation? To like a very damaged, unstable system?
I mean, you're gonna get more people that are more jaded from politics, because you got to imagine all the kids that participated in the Gen Z protest thinking they're going to get something out of this. They're going to grow up and they're going to leave the country, and their thinking process, their understanding of what's going on in Nepal is going to be the exact same as our parents and the previous generations. It's going to be, Nepal is hopeless. It doesn't matter how hard you work at it. No, it's run by corrupt people. It'll stay corrupt. It might create more radical youth for the next couple of years, but most likely, since Nepal doesn't have a revolutionary party like that can steer them towards like socialist policies, they're most likely going to end up becoming liberals or straight up Hindutva supporters. Because right now, like, in my opinion, Hindutva is a fast growing ideology in Nepal right now, and a lot of people are being sucked into it.
Right. Because if the public-facing government is saying it's communist, people are usually going to go right.
Yep.
I feel like it's like sort of like a countercultural. Because like people are always just countercultural. They're just like against whatever the current system, is, especially when there's contradictions. That sucks. That sucks, honestly. I don't know. I don't know. Is there any hope? Is there any hope, Avi or NEP-Che? Or...
I do think,
I mean,
talking to some of my relatives who are about my age, it seems like it's emboldened a lot of people.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like some younger people definitely now think they have more power in the system than they do. Not even in the system. They have more power than they do.
Yeah.
Not, maybe I'm not saying that correctly. They understand that they could have power if they wielded it properly. Yeah.
Right. NEP-Che?
I think from what I've collected after everything that happened, like from the conversations I've had with my relatives and people I know back home, everyone has a lot of questions. I would say everyone's like really inquisitive of like why everything's going on. Mostly my friends and my family are like questioning a lot of things now, I would say, which they previously didn't. But I think after the whole uprising, I think they have started questioning the system that we have been living with so far.
Yeah, it's making more. One thing I would say is a lot of the Nepalese people are politically uneducated, like politically ignorant. So it's starting to get people more interested in politics. Not less jaded, but more, I guess, inquisitive of what's going on to the government around them. It'll probably move a lot of the youth towards maybe local politics and working ground up, just off the. Go for it, Jay. My bad.
Oh, I just wanted to say something real quick because like Pokepreet talked about hope, and as a commie, I always say that we should always have hope. So I do have hope that someday we will have a social state in Nepal. So that's all I
100%.
wanted to say. Yeah.
100%, dude, and that's the goal, right? That's what we're all working towards. So, I think we quoting Mahatma Lenin real quick. Without revolutionary theory, there can be no revolution. So what Nepal lacks right now, it's not a radicalized youth, right? Because now the youth are ready to work. They see the effects of their protest. What they just need is the correct revolutionary theory to point them towards the right direction.
Right. Something to really ground them in the objective situation and unite them in working towards a true socialism. Avi, any other points?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think also it can't hurt not having a self-described communist party like ruining the country. If your ruling corrupt party isn't waving around the hammer and sickle, I think that might be better for somebody who is genuinely.
Well, it's not like there aren't true Marxists in Nepal. I would say there's a good amount. If I can't really remember the party's name right now. I think they call themselves the Revolutionary Maoist Party, but after 2008, they split from the mainland Maoist Party because the Maoists became revisionists, and they're not the biggest party out there, but they're still Marxists in Nepal that are still trying to steer the youth towards.
Who led the split?
Is
Badal,
Kiran?
right?
I think it's Kiran.
Was it Kiran?
I think it's Kiran. Yeah, his alias is Kiran. I forgot his real name.
That was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
Kiran was in the hospital.
No, bro, they're still active though, because they're still posting, they're still releasing like conference letters and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. So, hold on, I can actually send it to you. Hold on, because I found this website that they post all the stuff on. But yeah, they've been fairly active.
But I know Kiran, he was in the hospital not that long ago. He's old. He's old.
Yeah,
now.
he is old. Yeah. He was like a mentor to like Prachanda back in the day. So yeah.
So he's
old.
Prachanda, he's like in his 80s now.
80s.
He's too old, man. He's too old. Yeah.
There's a video of him cleaning up after the protest, and he's like wheezing, picking up a shovel.
Like in the propaganda bullshit, right?
Yeah. I mean, after the uprising, I mean, the Gen Z generation does have a little more credibility when it comes to like social and political change. I would say
No, go ahead.
I see it with people here. Like back in the day, like we wouldn't be invited to like the tables where they would talk politics. But now it's like, oh, Gen Z are here. Come over, let's talk politics. You're invited to like political conversations now, which is a big change, I would say.
No, for
what
sure.
was I gonna say is what about Southall Committee? What have they been up to?
Oh, that's a good question.
I haven't really been keeping up with them.
I've been keeping tabs on it.
Yeah.
They tried to organize a Pokhara and Kathmandu committee, but from what I've heard, I think it pretty much has fallen through.
Yeah, it's seemingly Suffolk committee. It looked like there was a little bit of hope there. They said they've gone underground. I'm gonna assume, benefit of the doubt, that they are still working on something to get more organizing done. The last I heard, they did like Avi said, they did have a conference in Kathmandu. That's the one I heard of, and a good amount of people showed up. Like it looked like something can happen there, but we'll see. We'll see what.
It'll take time.
Yeah.
Was this in October?
I think it was a little bit after the.
Oh, okay.
It was a little bit after the protests and stuff.
Okay, so it seems like the modern day landscape does post these riots. Revolution would imply like classes changed, and didn't really seem like that happened. Is not that dramatically different than before. There were some reforms that essentially happened, and the system stabilized, but we're still along with the same system. Well, why do you think these protests were unable to really be captured by any party to bring forth a final sort of socialism? Were the conditions not just there? Were the revolutionary theory just not there?
Oh, you're saying the Gen Z protests?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no revolutionary theory. There was no vanguard party to really lead the proletariat when it was necessary, and it fizzled out basically.
There was no one really leading the movement. It was just really sporadic, but so I don't think there was really a I wouldn't even say there was a real demand. They only wanted like no more corruption. I would say there wasn't even a real demand.
I think it was just a release of anger.
Yeah. It was. There's no real understanding of class consciousness at that point, especially amongst the youth. So, I mean, what they were asking for is anti-corruption. But I mean, if you were to ask them, so what paths do we want to take towards anti-corruption? They probably wouldn't be able to give you an answer.
Right.
When they started distributing the firearms from the police barracks, people were like, "Oh, where's Prasanna? He's trying to do another revolution. He's trying to make Nepal into China and a communist country."
You're really wish he did, bro.
When those videos came out of them taking the guns from the police, there was a little bit of hope in me. I was like, but now they gave it back. I think like a day or two after. So.
Yeah.
What are some lessons then? Like I'm assuming we're all in the United States of America. If you guys could give your exact locations, I'd appreciate it. What exactly can we learn from what happened in Nepal? Like good things, bad things, lessons for some sort of similar movement here, or any kind of organizing here.
I would say that we need like a central organizing committee or something where we can actually use these resources in like the correct place and correct time. I would say somewhere somehow if we could organize all the Marxist Leninists and anyone on the left to come together and actually form a committee, a centralized committee that would be able to organize like protests, spontaneous protests too. I think that would be one lesson I learned from the events in Nepal.
Up to the mountains, down to the countryside. We need to start talking to people who are disaffected with everything. We're not going to get anywhere if we don't talk to people.
You said no. That was a crazy good line. You said from the mountains to the countryside.
That was the campaign Xi Jinping was in. That's what.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's fire. That's why
dropping the references,
Nah, I mean, yeah, I agree. It's again. I think we need to put more faith towards the diaspora as well. I think as more Nepalese people leave the country, the diaspora is growing by the day, and I think a lot of the most class conscious people live in the diaspora, right? Because a lot of the Nepalese people that come to America or UK and whatever, they come from very proletarian backgrounds or peasant backgrounds, especially if we're talking about like the Gurkhas who leave their countries to fight in the army of another. Uh, but like the main focal point again, yeah, like we need a centralized party, we need a vanguard party to like. This is a situation where if Nepal had a centralized vanguard party, they could have taken control of the situation and could have pushed for something more than just a weeks long riot, right? And I think there needs to be a way of for Nepalese people. One, Nepalese people shouldn't give up hope, right? We have there's if we can do this, then we can do a lot more. But the diaspora needs to get educated. It's what if the diaspora like can get educated, then that's a lot of Nepalese people that are willing to work to help their country.
I mean, you
Help
think
their
about
country.
what something.
Mhm.
You think about what something like the what is it? The Free Tibet, Students for Free Tibet, like that's all people abroad
Yeah.
organizing, educating people about the cause they're passionate about. Like if we did something like that for a more noble cause, obviously.
Yeah. I was a little worried for a second. I was like, "Where's this guy going?" Me too.
But like something in that vein, we could probably get a lot of people on our side.
Yeah, literally that. Like, yeah, it's the diaspora needs to come together.
I can also see a little bit of that energy, and I'm sorry for positioning it back to America, but like I can also see a little bit of that energy in Mandani's win in New York City, where like a lot of like former Trump voters flipped towards like a guy who was calling himself Democratic Socialist, and I mean, obviously, we're none of us are Democratic Socialists, and I fundamentally don't think Mandani's going to be able to achieve much.
No.
Yeah, it's a symbolic win, I would say. Like,
Yeah,
it's a symbolic win.
And it's
All of my Nepali relatives,
Sorry?
all of my Nepali, like they're all celebrating it like it's a win for them. It's
I
fun.
mean, it's a South Asian that won his American politics. What do you mean? They're just going to celebrate it no matter what. He could have been like Hitler, and, oh my God.
We gotta keep in mind, bro. We gotta keep in mind, like the South Asian thing.
New York City, like, they would have been like, hell yeah, could have been Hitler, could have been Stalin. They don't care,
Bro, we gotta also keep in mind the only like real South Asians that are in politics are like Kash Patel and
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy and like the Souza, like Dinesh D'Souza, like these type of guys are the ones that are representing South Asian. So having somebody like Zoran, he's not gonna get much done, but a win is a win in that sense, right?
I mean, he's undoing anti-Indian propaganda a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, we also got that Kana guy, whatever, in Silicon Valley.
Rokana?
Yeah. I don't like him.
What is politics?
He gives me the ick. Well, first of all, politics aside, he just gives me the ick.
I don't trust no tech bros, man. Like I'm gonna be real with you. I don't trust no tech bros.
Oh, NEP-Che, what were you gonna say before I cut you off?
I was going to say that having a socialist mayor in the capital of the capitalistic city, the financial capital of the world, is like a big, huge symbolic win for us. That's all I was about to say.
Yeah, and also the fact that he was able to flip Trump voters. It shows that at least the American people are ready for some sort of class warfare. I don't know if it's like, we're not ready for anything in 1917, but at least it's the beginnings.
In that thinking, I'm a little third worldist. I'll say a lot third world. I don't really think a revolution is going to come from the imperialist core. I think if anywhere, it's going to come from the third world. And it's going to it's going to be countries like Nepal, India, the Philippines. Like
We're gonna have to drag America into the future.
Yeah, they're kicking and screaming, bro. Kicking and screaming.
And I had really big hopes for like India because of like what's going on in India. The elections, like the Bihar election, was like a huge deal this year, but they lost. The BJP coalition won, so that has brought a setback, I would say. But I had really big hopes for what was going down in India. I was hoping not a revolution, but like a social, like a uprising or something. But unfortunately, nothing has happened.
Marx forgot to consider that racism is more convincing than class struggle. Racism and anti-intellectualism.
I mean, the BJP's been making ends in Kerala too. Like like they're falling to the rightist parties as well.
Yeah, March forgot to consider racism as fun. You know.
March
consider that brown people would rather like divide each other by fucking bullshit caste than fuck you by
If Marx had seen modern day, South Asian politics, he would have just given up. He would.
Oh my God, bro.
Stop writing.
I mean, is it what's that one place that's currently run by a guy in India? His name's like KV Stalin. Like that shit was
That's
It's a South Asian.
so it's another.
oh my God.
It's either Karnataka or Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, I think it's Tamil Nadu, bro. Like, that shit, bro, that shit was so funny.
I mean, he's a liberal. He's a liberal.
Yeah, he's a liberal. Yeah, that's no question. Like the one thing about like South India that I do like is like they're like weird, like culturally Marxist. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people there that like socialism as like the culture, like the aesthetic of it.
The anti-caste as well. That's like a big, thing I would say in India.
Yeah. Shout out Ambedkar, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Ambedkar. Like,
Yeah, and then you get towards like Sri Lanka, and then it's sort of just Okay. Anyways, how has the new government affected Nepal's politics between India, China, America? Like, has anything changed in that regard, like geopolitically?
Nah, man, not really. Nothing I've heard.
Yeah.
Anything.
One thing I will say, I think Karki, she's kind of drawn back from China a little bit. Like she called the China out on constructing some infrastructure on disputed border areas, and I don't know. I feel like Oli wouldn't have done that.
Man, so the thing with me is like if Nepal's gonna ally with any country, I'd rather them ally with China. Like you know what I mean? It's China has
sure.
helped Nepal like so much in that like they're literally like I don't know if it's finished yet, but the tunnel that's going through Kathmandu to Pokhara, like that's being
Belt and Road Initiative.
yeah, the Belt and Road Initiative, yeah, that's being done by China and stuff. And if anything, like I'd rather see, like I said, like I'd rather see Nepal ally with China than America or India.
I mean, China has helped us with tons of like hydro projects too. Like, I've seen some myself. My uncle used to work for the Nepalese electricity board, whatever they're called. So he would take me to these like places where they would like use dynamites to blow up like tunnels and shit, and they were all just Chinese people working there, in like small dormitories and like bunk beds, like, but they were just happy, just helping out. I would say they were just chill.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather them do that. Now, I'd rather see them employ more Nepalese people, of course, in those situations. But that's a lot better than fucking forcing us to liberalize our economy to the point where we have no industries.
Sorry, you guys. Sorry, my racism show.
The Browns.
The Browns. You people. He's gonna start dropping Nepali beef from
He's gonna start calling us security guards soon, bro.
Security guard.
Bahadur and shit.
Yeah, Bahadur.
Mongoloids.
So they let you keep more economic dependence, and they don't really demand like restructuring. What does China get out of that like relationship? Just like more like trade, like economic.
It connects. Their main focus was to connect to Nepal through the Himalayas, right? So they easy access trade, and it's just like what the West calls it's like soft diplomacy, right? So it's they want a positive relationship with Nepal because Nepal is right in between China and India, so it kind of benefits if Nepal is more allied to them. Getting more access to Nepal was for military shit. Trying to protect their borders and all that. It's a good middleman. And Nepal has always tried to, I guess, kind of be like a Switzerland type of country in South Asia, where they've tried to balance both sides. But the problem is, it doesn't really work out if you're taking exorbitant amount of money from America and also trying to take money from China. Like it's a weird situation. Like it just hasn't worked. Nepal's like two-sidedness really hasn't worked, especially after the era of parliamentary politics, after 1991, when IMF funds just kept rolling in, and Nepal, like every year, was privatizing more and more sectors of the industry.
I wasn't really paying attention to it, but did any of you guys catch like the Indian government's responses to all of this, like all these events at all, or was it just sort of silent?
No, they called it a color revolution. They were calling it. They wanted to make it seem like it had utmost like outside interference. They because they benefit from, like, the Indian government, especially the BJP government, will utilize like anti-imperialist rhetoric in situations like this when they're literally actively conducting imperialism in South Asia and shit. So
Not only that, but like wielding Western ideology, like fascism, is not Indian. It's not native. It's
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The BJP is very good at like that anti-imperialist bullshit. Just like, and they're so spiritually Israeli in that way.
Yeah.
We're decolonial. We're like anti-imperialist. Like every time an Israeli says that, I'm just reminded of like a BJP, something like that. It's
the way.
the third day of the protest that the Indian government played with sending troops in. Was that it was sometime in the middle, like when everything was going down. They were like seriously discussing sending troops in to put it
I think it was the second day after like all the chaos and everything.
Yeah,
started.
second, third.
after the gun, I think it was right, like as they were taking the guns, they were trying to arm themselves to protest. That's when the talks of India going into Nepal started becoming more.
right. Sort of like an empty threat, but like sort of flexing its muscles. Yeah.
I mean, they shut the border down too. Like,
Yeah. For President Xi, please nuke India. It's cringe.
Now, Chairman Mao, keep it here. Chairman Mao, please.
Yeah. Crossover, I think. Oh, go ahead, Neb.
Sorry. I forgot what I was about to say. Let me recollect my mind. Sorry.
I was gonna add also, anti-Indian rhetoric works really well in Nepal, right? Because the Nepalese people aren't blind; they know that India is very dominant. They're very dominant in Nepalese politics. One of the common things is like they call the They call the the Indian embassy in Nepal like the royal court. They like it's because India has so much of a hand in what goes on in Nepal. Anti-Indian rhetoric will always, like, one of the things the Maoists did during the late stages of the revolution during like 2005-6 was they pumped a lot of anti-Indian rhetoric to like scare the masses, like all of the masses, not just like the rural peasantry, into like working with the Maoists, but they're like, yo, we gotta strengthen our borders against the Indian threat and shit. Anti-Indian rhetoric just works really well in Nepal.
Right.
and I think there is some like race stuff in there because Indian people, generally, we're very similar genetically or whatever,
Okay,
but people still draw distinctions like, oh, they're darker than us, we need to keep them out.
It's also like egged on by Westerners who will always be like, if you want to go to a place like India that's cleaner, go to Nepal and shit. Like they basically put Nepal on like this weird pedestal that's like, oh, it's India but better, and then that transcend. I mean, like, it also, it's like the Nepalese people just like, they don't have much to be like proud of, dude. Like we have Buddha and like Mount Everest, and we're better than India because like that's really all we gotta have.
And we have a flag that's not square or
It's a fire flag. You guys have that.
That's true. Exactly. We have a couple of things that we're proud of.
I was gonna say the best fascists are former socialists, or like they use socialist talking points. That's what Modi ji does a lot. Oh yeah, go ahead, Neb.
Oh, I just wanted to go back to the BJP thing because I wanted to bring up the whole way they came into power by like coercing and like bullying all the other politicians from like other parties. Like they would send like the institution that were already set in place, like the election department, the tax department, send them after these politicians and ask them to join the BJP. And once they switched sides, everything that was against them would disappear. So there's even a name for this whole operation. It's called Operation Kamala. Damn. I mean, yeah, they're trying to. That's how they got so much power in the 2019 election, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the BJP, when they first came into power in like 2013, that also coincided with the Hindutva and like what we say in Nepal, Rajabadi, like royalist rhetoric also grew at the same time. So there's a lot of collusion between Nepal's Hindutva party and the BJP as well. So it's a lot of tampering, a lot of stuff like that.
And in March this year, there were those big monarchist protests.
Yeah, that shit was huge. They ran a fucking truck through the riot police. It's crazy.
Yeah,
There were
yeah.
why are the monarchists obsessed with the motorcycle parades? Why do they like that?
I believe it's because they give out like free gas. So
Oh shit! Wait, that's actually crazy.
yeah, people will just go come to campaigns for like 5 liters of gas. So I mean,
That's not bad, honestly. You know, just
God, that works. It works, man. It works. You just hold a flag for a couple hours and you get free gas. Fuck it, free gas.
yeah. I mean, you know, a little bit of fascism's okay.
Yeah, free gas. Fuck, man. Hand me that flag. I'll be waving that shit.
Yeah, especially in America right now. You know, holy shit.
Oh,
Fuck, dude, give me some groceries, bro. I'll wave any flag. You know?
no, bro. I'll fucking man. I'll give me the red cap at this point, bro. If you like put the damn grocery prices down, fuck it.
I'll become, I'll join Siwa's brigade. You know, the little shit he had. But wrapping this all up, just like in general, like what are your opinions on like the future? Like are they positive? Are they negative? And just in general, you know, America, Nepal, the situation, you know, everything.
I mean, you know, you got to be optimistic. There's got to be positive, right? I mean, with what's happening in America right now, with the fucking like the militarization of ICE and detaining people everywhere, it's hard to be positive in situations like this, even for Nepal, because right now, I mean, there's a lot of Nepalese youth that are already questioning, like, what the fuck did we have the protest for, right? It's a lot of pessimism, and the exploiting classes, the capitalist classes, they benefit off the working class being as pessimistic, as anti-political, as apolitical as possible. So all I can say is like have hope and try to do what you can for your surrounding communities and stuff, man. It's
I would say things are gonna get really worse because like as capitalism dies, obviously it's gonna turn into fascism and it's gonna make lives really worse. It's gonna make lives worse not just in America but like all over the world, in my opinion. And it's gonna get so worse that people are finally gonna, stand up to it. I feel like, I mean, the situation is gonna be so bad that no one can really avoid it or really ignore it anymore.
Bro, they're already starting to. Sorry to cut you off real quick, but they're already starting to shoot at ICE agents in Chicago. Like they're like shit's getting to that point, man.
Yeah, capitalism itself is very accelerationist, you know, and class struggle itself is very accelerationist, and obviously ideas don't move history, but classes do in class struggle, and well, things have to get worse before they get better, you know, absolutely, I do believe in that. Avi?
I just think the protests overall, it's a shakeup, and a shakeup can go either way. It didn't shake too much up this time, but it definitely scared the comprador capitalists, the exploiting classes, and it maybe empowered some working class people. So in that way, I feel like reactionary rhetoric's going to take an uptick already. I see like so-called socialists being like, we need a monarch again. The king at least was able to control the country and keep us safe.
That's it, bro.
Yeah, we're okay. So we're gonna invent Hindutva monarchist socialism, you know, and
Monarcho-socialism.
yeah, yeah. Except it's Napa, and make Nepal great again. Yeah. The A is okay. Hold on, we're gonna have to figure that out. But yeah, we'll figure out the acronym. You know, we're cooking right now.
We can workshop that.
It's workshop it. We're workshopping.
It's manga. It's manga. Manga.
I like the
Horrible idea.
I love that. Yeah, no, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Any final words? Just like any final words before I end this. Parting words.
Free Palestine, free the world, free Sudan. Hey, all eyes on Sudan, boys. You gotta get educated on what's going on in Sudan right now. But yeah, take care of yourselves, man. Don't lose hope. We got a lot of fight to do. We got a lot of fight. We got a lot of fighting that's gonna happen. We can't give up hope right now.
Continuing with Promise said, hey, free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo, free East Timor, free West Papua.
Free all of them. Free them every third world. Every third world country.
Exactly. Yeah. The fight. Revolution will come eventually, and I hopefully we're ready for it. And thank you for Pokepreet for having us. I guess.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you.
Of course, Avi.
Civilize the mind, make savage the body. Be prepared to struggle.
Of course, and free India from Indians. Free them from themselves.
Nepal should have colonial jurisdiction over all of India. Actually,
Yeah. Just give it to the Chinese. The Chinese could rule us better. I feel like.
We'll have the what is it? United Soviet Socialist Republics of South Asia soon.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right. See you, fellas.
No.
Thank you for listening to the Pokepreet podcast. If you want to support our podcast, you can always head down to our Patreon, where you can get episodes up to a month early. Workers of the world unite. Long live the immortal science of Marxist-Leninism. Thank you.